Would the board members refresh their computers? The clerk has made some changes to the agenda. Mrs. Andrews, refresh your computer. All right, we are ready for a report from our Palm Beach County Student Council President, Jaden Manuel.
Thank you. Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me again, board members. Royal Palm Beach High School just hosted the first Palm Beach County Student Council meeting on Thursday, August 29th, where we had 20 schools and nearly 200 students come to share their projects and ideas with the rest of our county. A couple of the projects that stood out the most included Seminole Ridge High School's Sit With Someone New project, where they decorated 2 lunch tables in their cafeteria on the first day of school and invited students to sit at the tables to meet new people so that no one felt left out. Park Vista High School's new Teacher Welcome project, where they gave survival kits filled with supplies needed throughout the year to the 17 new teachers being welcomed to the school, creating a healthy student-teacher relationship at the beginning of the year, and West Boca High School's Reading Buddies, where their student government went to Florence Fuller Center to read to little kids and help them improve their reading fluency and comprehension skills. These are just some of the best projects that only a few of our schools are participating in throughout the county. I'm sure you can imagine all the other amazing things that the students are doing for our community. For our next county meeting in November, I plan to increase the participation of the schools that attended the county council meeting. I'll be reaching out to the schools that did not attend and do my best to include them in the next meeting. I'll have an updated report on how many schools are coming at the next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, the next item on the agenda will be a report from the Academic Advisory Committee. Is there a report this evening? Ms. Feldman?
Good evening, Chairman Barbieri, school board members, Dr. Fenoy, and staff. The Academic Advisory Committee met last week, where we heard a presentation about the implementation of all the requirements in Statute 1003.42, which is the one that identifies the need for civics education, Holocaust education, the inclusion of contributions of women in American society, and the contributions of Hispanics in American society, and African history and African American history, as well as their contributions to American society. So staff outlined each requirement that is listed in that statute and identified which parts of the curriculum meet the requirement by listing the course and the unit information. Mr. Oswald had mentioned that the staff is working on improvements in what is in place currently. And with questions about the details of the curriculum, the committee members learned that the district is conducting curriculum audits with input from key community members to increase the rigor of the curriculum. A committee member recommended that the district's accountability takes place on a conceptual level, not just as a checklist that it has been done. And the staff also informed that these improvements in the curriculum are a factor in the selection of our next textbooks. And concerns were raised that teachers and administrators will need cultural competency as well as content knowledge to ensure that these topics are well addressed, and that we will need well-attended, strong professional development in order to do this. We also discussed the need for accountability, along with the infusion of these topics into STEAM classes. A committee member also recommended that short videos with information relating to these requirements, not just what is required, but the topics that are contained within the curriculum, are posted on school websites and sent to parents and community members so that they can see and possibly also learn this information so that we can use that as an avenue to help reinforce those lessons at home.
Thank you. Any questions? The Academic Advisory? Thank you, Ms. Feldman.
Thank you.
Instruction Oversight Review Committee, Mr. Brasser, I see Mr. Doctor.
Good evening, Jim and Barbieri, school board members, Dr. Fenoy. My name is Lou Doctor. I'm here representing your Construction Oversight and Review Committee. We met on September 12th. 12 out of the 13 Cork members were in attendance, so we had a good attendance, and they all obviously participated. Under your consent agenda of 14, there were 4 items listed under facilities construction. FC1 on Citrus Cove Elementary and FC2 on Okehili and FC3 on Coniston all returned money to the district. 12.4 thousand for Citrus, 13.8 for Okehili, and 13.7. Those are funds that were no longer necessary as the work proceeded, and they returned the funds, and obviously they were put into the appropriate sources of where the money came from. FC4 was approving the contingency report. As you know, you've authorized the superintendent and his staff to do contingency funding of a minor nature in order to keep the work going. Once a month, we get a summary of the report, which we review, and we went over it, and we had no problems with the content of it. Some of them were funds that were returned for not needed, and others would have fixed unanticipated problems, design problems, and unexpected conditions, and it was well received. Under purchasing construction at PC1, that's pre-qualified vendors. As you know, we extend existing vendors after 3 years on the list, and we qualify new vendors as they come up. 3 new vendors and 4 renewal vendors were approved, and that went forward on consent. For design services, PC2 for Wellington Middle School is facility renovation and repairs, and that went forward by consent. PC3 was a construction management at risk contract. That was for the Greater West Palm Beach, West Lake Worth High School. It's the contract for the construction of the school itself. We're delighted to see that happen because last month we approved the design. This month we're approving the construction, which means that the contractor and the designers, architects are going to be working together so that they're both familiar with the design, the school gets done efficiently, and very few change activities will be experienced. It's a great way to run the business, and your staff did a good job of it. We don't know what the final cost will be. The budget, which isn't the amount of the award, but the budget's approximately $75 million. It's probably the first high school we've built in Palm Beach County in a number of years, and it's sorely needed both for the overcrowding of the schools in the area and for the new people that are moving in. So it was great to see that moving forward, and it was approved by consent. We had 900 pages of data, and our staff had no questions. Finally, PC4 Boynton Beach High School roof replacement. That had a lengthy discussion because of the experience of the people on your core committee. How you handle flat roofs, how you handle peak roofs, what type of materials, what type of technology, and your staff did a very nice job of answering all the questions, and that was approved by a 12-0 vote. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to.
Any board questions? No. Thank you, Mr. Doctor.
Thank you.
Take us to elected officials and delegate speakers.